So starting this video with the beginning of a very nostalgic quest, I got Recipe for Disaster going with the Cook's intro and then the Goblin subquest. And same as before, I'm just working my way through the very long quest list and doing some dailies in between to keep the levels ticking up, as well as the random rewards from challenges and the extra keys. Next I did Troll Stronghold and In Search of the Maya key. Now I don't think I've ever actually said that word out loud, but according to the wiki that's how it's pronounced. And then I completed the Enter the Abyss mini quest as it's needed for some other quests later and gives a little rune crafting XP. And then after that was the Eyes of Glaufrey, and that was quite big because that gives even more rune crafting XP, and it put me to a point where I was happier to start putting the XP lamps into rune crafting. Following that was the fishing contest, then the dwarf subquest from Recipe for Disaster, and then I finished off the Elemental Workshop series by completing Elemental Workshop 4. Back at the farm I got over the 49 farming requirement needed to put animals in a large pen, so I bought the deeds and built the pen and put some cows in it. And just looking at this clip, I don't think this footage was even recorded that long ago, maybe a couple of weeks, but my farming has absolutely rocketed up, and although I do like the player-owned farms content, it's definitely killed off any other farming method. Unless you're an Iron Man and need supplies, I guess. I can't really think of any other reason to do anything else. More quests followed this, and sadly whilst doing Mountain Daughter I failed as a good parent and my kitten ran away after it got hungry and I didn't notice the warnings, so I had to go grab another and try raising that one again because you do need a cat for a quest coming up. And after Mountain Daughter I did the Golem quest, and then I thought I should probably stop putting off starting Reaper tasks, so I went to Death to get an assignment and grabbed the gem for the first time. I quickly got What's Mine Is Yours ticked off and then did my first Reaper task. Now at my combat level I can only get King Black Dragon or Giant Mole tasks, and I much prefer King Black Dragon because it is more chill to leech off my main. So yeah, this first task got me a big 12 Slayer levels up to 26, and then I did another one straight after it which put me up to 31. Now I'm not sure what level it's worth doing these up until, because obviously there comes a point where the 7k XP I'm getting takes far longer via the Reaper task than it would by just doing normal Slayer. So I'm not sure about that, but for now I'm happy to keep doing it like this and slowly start getting some Reaper points. Next is this clip of me finishing off my daily challenges and claiming the weekly reward, just showing you again the variety of stuff you get. And like I said in the previous video, most of this stuff has no use to me at the moment, but you know, I have no doubt in the future I'll be happy that it's been there stacking up. Another little questing spree followed that, and I completed the Creature of Fenkenstrain, Shiloh Village, the Lost Tribe, Death to the Dorgish Khan, and the Giant Dwarf. And keeping on top of the dailies, I unlocked the third region in player-owned ports. Now it will take a while to save up the resources for this, but this region is the one that you unlock the third ship slot in. Another slice of ham was the next quest on my list, and I had a nice frustrating boss fight here, not because it was difficult in any way, but because I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to use a weapon special attack whilst in legacy combat, and eventually I discovered you just have to click the adrenaline bar, so with that completed the quest. Now I've put in this clip as a reminder of how strong and frankly overpowered getting all these extra keys from quests is, especially during a good promotion, which seems to be always these days. So yeah, I got 3 giant smouldering lamps from 1 key, and that got me 59 to 64 rune crafting. Now I still haven't crafted a single rune on this account, and I'll probably cut about 100 logs for daily challenges, and that's it for my training in both those skills. After this I completed Shadow of the Storm, and then at this point my second cat had fully grown, so I put it to good use in the Evil Dave subquest for Recipe for Disaster. I reached 71 farming, which unlocked the second large pen and the ability to raise yaks. And I also started putting chinchompas in the small pen shortly before this. The level you need is only 54, but for some reason I thought it was 60 or so I was a tiny bit late putting them in. But either way, those are the highest level animals for the small pens, so from now on that's all that will be in there. Continuing the Evil Dave theme, I ticked off Evil Dave's Big Day Out, and then I started the Demon Slayer subquest of Dimension of Disaster. Now, I got up to the boss fight here, but I just wasn't strong enough to finish it off, so rather than struggle through, I'll just save it for later when I've leveled up a bit. It's not a high priority at the moment to finish. And another daily that I've been keeping on top of, well, it's not really a daily at this point, but that is the Anachronia base camp. And checking on that, I was able to fully upgrade my first building, and maxing the town hall enables you to reach the highest tier of all the other buildings. So yeah, the plan is still just going for the tier 3 sleeping quarters, and that unlocks the maximum amount of workers to get through all the other buildings as quick as possible. The weekly reset had been and gone, so I was able to claim the next batch of rewards from challenges, and I followed that with another quest spree, completing Wanted, the Sea Slug, Slug Menace, and Edgar's Ruse. Now, when you do Edgar's Ruse, you want to grab multiple gout weeds for the future. I think it's an item needed in Legends quest. You definitely need one for another quest, I can't remember exactly what. And then after that I did Troll Romance, and the Trollheim teleport makes it a lot quicker, and that's unlocked after Edgar's Ruse, so definitely do them that way round. This was the first archaeology daily that I'd got on this account, so it finally gave me a good enough reason to do the tutorial. And after that I excavated a couple of artifacts from the Caradet dig site to complete the challenge and stock up for future challenges as well. I ticked off some more quests, which were Rag and Bone Man, Fur and Seek, Tale of the Muspar, and Once Upon a Slime. Reaching 81 farming, I unlocked Zygomites, and I got those in the pens ASAP. Like Chinchompas, they're the highest tier animal for their pen size, so they'll be in here from now on as well. After this was another long line of quests, and I don't think there's anything worth mentioning about these in particular, so I'll just list them off. They were Ghost Ahoy, A Soul's Bane, One Small Favour, Ernest the Chicken, Animal Magnetism, then Perils of Ice Mountain, What Lies Below, The Hand in the Sand, and Kenneth's Concerns. Then using those keys I got a rather tasty reward, which was 6 huge lamps, and that gave me another couple of rune crafting levels. So again, this is just showing you how my rune crafting and wood cutting has just been ticking up as I go along. Back to the quest life, I did Shades of Morton, Big Chompy Bird Hunting, the Pirate subquest of Recipe for Disaster, the Haunted Mine, Quiet Before the Swarm, Piercing Note, the Lumbridge, Sage, and the Ogre subquest of Recipe for Disaster, and then Chef's Assistant, Pirate's Treasure, Sheep Herder, and lastly Eagle's Peak. Now that put me on 200 quest points, so nearly halfway there, and I think this is a good point to end this video. I'll put my adventures log up on screen now, mainly for the time played, as I think it's quite a decent milestone and I know people like to see that. So I'm going to leave it here for today, and I hope you enjoyed the progress, and I'll see you in the next one.